Yes, people, my people, my people, my people. Isn't it a good weekend? Isn't it just beautiful? I feel like the sun is shining a little bit differently today, huh? It's a beautiful Sunday. Beautiful Sunday. Spurs pick up a draw against Man City and Villa lose to 10-man Brentford. I'm telling you, it's a sweet, glorious Sunday, man. Woke up today, 7 points clear. Going to sleep, 7 and 6 points clear. Oh, you taste it knowing May comes. KP, tell me how you're feeling today after a massive, massive results around the Premier League grounds, people.
Um, Last week Arsenal dropped points. The whole league was done for us. Our season was done, and obviously, things can just change on the weekend. And it's nice where Arsenal looked so convincing. And I can't lie, if you watch that game, first half Spurs looked absolutely awful. So for them to
garbage.
wake up, make changes, and City look basically awful in that second half, I think it's just a credit to what the Premier League is, but also just gives us more confidence. Obviously, 14 games left, and we're looking like that, man. Come on, man. 6 point lead, and obviously Villa dropped points as well. We're here today to celebrate, and also just kind of, look a bit more, give a bit more credit to Arsenal because it's not an easy league, innit? So City have not looked good this 2026 so far.
Yeah, and I want to talk to you about that, KP, because this is where I really want to start with. People have been talking about Arsenal, saying, "Oh, we haven't scored open play goals. We haven't won in our last. We have only won one win in our last 4." But look at City. They're one win in their last 6, 7 games. They have been absolutely awful. And this has been a common trend with City. This is very similar to the game against Chelsea, if you guys remember. They dominated City. They dominated Chelsea. They walked all over them. Could have put the game to bed way before the time comes. And Chelsea sneak out with a draw. Same thing today. That game should have been well and truly over by halftime. To be honest, I was surprised Romero was hooked at halftime. I thought it should have been Dragoshin because he was absolutely god awful. Shirky was skinning him and Romero inside out. It was getting dark. As an Arsenal fan watching that, it was dark. Like my brother's a Spurs fan, people. I'm looking at him. I said, brother, I don't know how you support this team. I genuinely don't know how you support this team. They can't get near City. The passing is awful. The tactics are awful. The intensity is awful. And yeah, man, a miracle happens in the second half, KP. Genuinely a miracle for me because I was texting you throughout the game. I said, bro, there's no way Spurs are coming back in this game. Absolutely no way. Let's talk on the Spurs goal. Do you think that was a foul for you? If it was going against us, would you have called that a foul? Because I thought it was a perfectly fine goal. I didn't think it was a foul. I think, yes, he might have kicked through, but I think both people have all right to go for the ball there. And just because it ends up in a goal, you can't rule that goal out, man. I think that's been soft to rule that goal out there. What are your thoughts on that?
Yep.
Own goal by Guehi.
I think if it's given and not given, it's one of those ones where you kind of lean in both favors. I think it's a soft if it's not given, and I think if it's one of those ones was ruled out, it's one of the ones where you kind of understand. You won't have too much argument about it. But Solanke done well there to make the space, innit? Like it was a good game, a game of two halves, innit? At the end of the day, Spurs looked devoid of ideas, but I think it was just that shape, that 3-5-2 shape, just wasn't working against City. Left too much spaces, obviously, given Spurs' injuries, which you have to have a bit of sympathy for Frank there. But obviously, taking off, I think it was Romero, even if it was for an injury, and then putting on the midfielder, kind of changed the game in terms of just what Spurs were able to do. And City second half, apparently the stats came up on the screen that they've conceded 16 goals in second half compared to 6 goals in first half in the Premier League, and make it 18 now. And they normally capitulate, and they've shown this time and time again. And which is why I said, again, when Arsenal had dropped points last week, it's not that we shouldn't complain, it's not that we shouldn't worry or shouldn't question anything. It's just more give perspective to what the other teams around us are looking like. And Villa now, that's 2 back-to-back home games. They've lost Everton and now against Brentford, and that was against 10-man Brentford. And you look at City now, they've only won 1 game in 2026. I think they've drawn 3 and lost 1, and that one win is against Wolves at home, which they're expecting them to win. Obviously, before we continue, guys, make sure you're smashing the like button. Make sure you're smashing the like button. We've got 15 people in here. We appreciate everyone tuning in. Make sure you smash the like buttons very, very early, and obviously subscribe to both channels.
Join for the negativity, people. We're here to get I'm here to get negative, man. I'm here to be negative. I'm here for the negativity. I'm here to hate. I'm here to clone.
That's all him, innit? Me, I'm not a negative person, innit?
I'm here to clone, positive, man.
I'm super positive. I'm not even here to clown because I don't want to get to eat my words too much. It's just more when you see that, like, Arsenal have dropped points, which, as I said, criticism is there and necessary, but you have to also give perspective. Like, as I said, City have not been in great form.
You know what I'll say to that is, bro, I don't feel people have been fair to Arsenal all season. I think when City have been going through this up and down form, it's always been, City are gonna come good. City are gonna come good. Even our own fans have been, we're not good enough. We're gonna bottle it. We're gonna bottle. It takes one bad result. I'm not even talking about losses, KP. We've lost three games all season. 3 games all season. These men have lost what 6 games or 5, 6 games in the league already by January. And like we've been in title races before, KP. We know you cannot lose more than 5 games in the league. 5 is the absolute most you can lose in the league title race. We're already at 3, and I think for me that's a little bit high. I don't want us to lose any more games, but for them to be on 5 already, I don't believe in them. I don't believe in them at all. And I was sticking to this. I still don't believe in them, but I just believe that we have the consistency. My thing has always been at the start of the season, Arsenal just need to do what they need to do, because there's no team in this league that's better than us. I said it from the time we lost to Liverpool. We went to Anfield and lost, and I said it. There's no team in this league better.
I think your mic cut out there, if you can hear me. But I think what Steph was saying, obviously, there is no team better than us, and that's something I agree with and I share, because I felt that chest, and maybe we still have our flaws, and it's not that we don't have our flaws. And obviously, big up AFC always, who's in the chat. He says big up, good win yesterday, fast flowing football at last. All eyes on Tuesday. Arteta do not fail. I don't think we'll fail on Tuesday, and obviously it was nice to see some football. Obviously, I hope you're doing well, bro. But I think there's a reason why we should have some chest, I think, is what Steph is trying to say. I think Arsenal fans sometimes, obviously PTSD will leave you being a bit wary of things, but with the way we've been looking this season, I think someone showed me that there was a screenshot of how our results have looked all season so far, and when you look at it and you look at that perspective of how good we've been, it kind of makes you feel like when we do drop points, you got. I'm not saying you just got to take it with as it part of football, not like it's a upturn in form or a change of the narrative, because like it can happen. So obviously, just big up the team, innit? Obviously, I don't know if your mic is back now. You can hear me, but yeah, man. Like City, I think obviously Arsenal are going to be most hated. No one wants Arsenal to win the league, innit? So obviously, as long as people can hate on Arsenal, it's going to be the case. Let me just make sure, guys, you're making sure you're hitting the subscribe button. Obviously, here's Gunner Street channel. I can't hear you. And obviously, go hit the like button as well. And on his channel, and obviously, here's my channel as well. But let's have a look at the Premier League table. Just obviously, let's get some visuals up as we are in the stream. And let me know who's in the comments. Let me read your comments on screen. Appreciate you guys tuning in this evening. If you're fellow Arsenal fans and you're just coming to have some talk, feel a bit nice about what's been going on, then see we are here. Obviously, let's have a look. So yeah, this is the Premier League table. Yeah, so this is the Premier League table so far. Arsenal 6 points ahead of City, 3 goal difference ahead of them now. Obviously, with that, 4-0 win against Leeds yesterday. 7 points ahead of Villa now, who are only 5 points ahead of Man United in 4th. So they've kind of been drawn back into that top 4 race. Obviously, 5 points ahead of United, 6 points ahead of Chelsea, and 7 points ahead of Liverpool. So they're equal points in terms of the distance from Arsenal and Liverpool. If you want to consider them in a title race, it's very interesting. So that's there. City obviously going to Anfield next week. 6 points behind. Arsenal have Sunderland at home, a fixture you expect us to win. Arsenal could potentially extend that to 8 or 9 points. This is why last week, the blip in the last 3 games, you just have to be a bit patient and see how things pan out, because we've shown a level of consistency. I don't know if Steph, you're back yet, so I will see. Oh, okay. Let's see. Let's look at Arsenal's fixtures as well coming up, because I can't lie to you. Apart from obviously we got the Chelsea game on Tuesday, big game. I can't lie, we need to win that game because one, I want to go to the final at Wembley, obviously in March 22nd. But I also just want the momentum to continue. I don't want us to drop out of any competitions because I feel like this squad is heavily motivated, and I feel like the more competitions they have, the more opportunities for most of the team to play, and I think it will just continue the quality that we've been showing. And obviously we've got Sunderland in the league, and then we've got Brentford. I think that's midweek. And then we have Wigan in the FA Cup, a game we expect us to win. Then we have that North London derby, which obviously is a big game before Chelsea come back in the league again. But I think that's before the international break, the March international break. So, boy, it's sorry guys.
Yeah, people. Back again. If you can still hear me, let me know. If you can't hear me in the comments, please comment. Let me know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right. If you can't hear me, I'm just gonna start talking. Just gonna go at this. But yeah, man, 100%. I thought, to be honest, KP was coming from a level-headed perspective. He doesn't want to eat his words. But man, the narratives have been nasty on Arsenal all season, man. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of the nasty narratives, because I genuinely think like I said, I think we're the best team in this league. Been saying we're the best team in this league, and not only did I say we were the best team in this league, but by far and away, defensively, City don't look up for it. And again, I heard early in the season about Unai Emery. For me, that's also another guy who, yes, his expectation maybe not to win the league. Maybe he's overachieving with the expectations he should reach with Aston Villa. But again, for Arsenal, for PSG, and no, for the fourth season running at Aston Villa, he's failed to last in the title race. His teams just don't last long in the title race. And that's something that when people come to me and tell me Emery's better than Arteta, I can't get behind it. I genuinely can't. And I know you people might say expectation, this and that. But no, if you're an experienced manager, Villa have went out and spent money. Villa just brought in a striker. Yes, they have injuries, but they brought in a striker. They brought back Douglas Luiz. They bring in not only Premier League experience, but experience from people that have played not only under Emery, but for Villa. For Villa are coming back into their team. They're growing in experience. They were home today. That's a team that had a great home record. They were at home today against a 10-man Brentford. If it was Arsenal up against a 10-man Brentford, the narrative won't be just, oh, let's just go. Even when Arsenal were challenging for top 4 and not getting titles, the narrative would be different about Arsenal. So when people come here and tell me about, oh, this and that, about Unai Emery being better than Arteta, sit down with that, man. Sit down with that. Come on, man. That's past talk. Arteta has shown a consistency to challenge every single season. His teams, even with the injuries last season, with that team that we had last season, there was no way in hell we should have finished second and went to a Champions League semi-final. That's impossible. Impossible. Look at the injuries Spurs have faced. When City had their injuries, look how they fell off and had to grow back into the team. Look how United had when they had their injuries, how they fell off. Look at all these other teams around Europe when they have injuries. Arsenal had injuries last season, nowhere near the squad that we have this season, and we finished just 10 points off a title. And in the Champions League semi-final, and all of us can genuinely say we thought we had a chance to beat PSG. We beat Real Madrid in the Bernabeu. We beat Real Madrid home and away. So when man tell me about this manager is not good enough and Unai Emery is better and all types of rubbish, it's nonsense talk, man. I'm here today, man. But big up the team. We deserve this. The teams around us are not doing what they're supposed to do, and that's not on us. What I wanted from us and what I will continue to want from us is to be ruthless in how we win games, how we treat opposition, and how we go about winning trophies this season. I believe we're gonna win the Carabao Cup. I also believe we're gonna win this league. What else can we bring home? Champions League is a big ask. FA Cup, there's still a long way to go. Champions League, there's a long way to go. But I'm telling you, people, man, I really believe in this team, especially with how others around us domestically are looking. Champions League is a big ask. There's other teams around there. The draw might not be in good luck. We don't know how the cookies might crumble. But telling you, domestically, we're definitely the best team in England this year. This year specifically, we're the best team in England. Now let's just hope the trophies go to show that. KP, you're back, boy. Tell me how you're feeling, brother.
Yeah, I'm calm, man. Like as I said, like I'm only really worried about Arsenal, innit? Like once you're on top you have a lead, and we've had a good lead for the last couple of weeks. If we haven't extended it, it's just about maintaining that lead and counting the games down. And obviously, as long as we get 3 points and our rivals don't, it's going to be disadvantage them because they have less room to make up for that, and they're hoping that we also drop points with that as well. So I think when I do see City drop points, it just kind of reiterates how I already feel. Like I've already been confident about us winning this league from before the season, obviously during the season, and with each passing week, even when we have drop points, and just seeing how the team look when the work that they put in, the reactions they have when we drop points, when everything is looked at what I want and how I feel. So that's aligned. I think with City and Villa, I've never really considered Villa there, and I'm not even disrespecting them. I just think if the way that they play football, and sometimes when you are that shock team, teams kind of adjust and start to kind of make those changes to try and unsettle you and see how you do that. And they're going to struggle with when teams sit back and playing that low block. They still have Europe as well, and they have a lot of injuries to their team. Yes, they've made a couple of signings, but that's with them. And with City have always looked shaky, I think, and they're not the same City as old. I think last season stripped them of that fear that everyone had of them before, where they were the 4P champions and everything, and they could just beat everyone. Even if you could get at City, they still had. Wasn't just the players that they lost, it's just that fear factor. So when teams play City, they always feel like there's a chance. Tottenham in this game should have felt, even though it was 2-0, should have felt this game was done. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it should have felt like this game was done, and the game wasn't done. But
like, KP, the thing about City this season is, I think last season we could attribute it to injuries and them losing that mystique and them being poor in a lot of aspects and having to rebuild with certain guys. This season there was Rodri today. They had Cherky, Haaland was there.
No, but they have injuries though. I won't be.
No. I hear that they have injuries too. But when Arsenal were going through injuries, when Arsenal had injuries last season, that was not the narrative. That was not the expect. That was not.
But I'm not gonna fall into the toxic trait.
I'm not here to feel for City.
No, but I'm not gonna fall into. I'm not. Yeah, but you got to rise above everyone else, man. You can't think like how people think.
I feel like crashing it.
No, because you don't become better than them, innit? And I'm not saying being better than them, but for me, people wanted to cuss Arsenal when we have injuries last season, and for me, it was an excuse or a reason, and I don't need people to verify that. And this season, I didn't want that to be an excuse, and the window showed me that it wouldn't have been an excuse, and the way you've been playing through the injuries showed that. And other teams didn't want to prioritize getting the depth in necessary areas. People cussed Arsenal for doing it, spending certain money in certain areas, and it's come to be our advantage throughout the season. Like yesterday was an example that Saka gets injured in the warm-up, our best player, and Madueke comes out. I don't even know Madueke was going to be in the squad anyways, but he steps up and delivers. I think the goal got credit to him now, so he got a goal and an assist yesterday. Good performance, and just in general, that's where we're at in it. And I don't think City have that same interchangeable quality, as you said, because I will excuse them. I'm not toxic. They have Diaz out, they have Stones out, they have Guardiola out. Doku wasn't there today. Neither was Savinho. I think they didn't have.
But what I would say, KP, is not only this game specifically, but this giving up leads, this complacency in their nature has been going on for longer than just this game. Like I mentioned the Chelsea game before. Look at the Fulham game. They were 3 goals up. That game they just narrowly won 5-4. Like we've seen this even before. I mean, everyone has had injuries, but even before some of the main guys like Gavardio were even gone, they were still going through that complacency where they would be flying, blitzing teams, and then they just give up leads. Like that's something for me that I've always held in the back of my head and said, well, this team is not the Sharks that everyone likes to talk about. This has to be a different City team. Was that something that you saw as well?
Yeah, but which is why obviously being confident in title race is not just being blind to your team, it's also understanding who you're competing with. And we're not competing with the same City that we've been competing with in previous years or last year's Liverpool, who were just excellent all season domestically. So, like, yeah, man, like I anticipate City to drop more points this season, not even just today or not even just next week. And I'm not saying Arsenal won't, but they will drop more points than Arsenal will, and Arsenal will get more wins than they will. And Arsenal already have an advantage. So that's where the confidence comes there. This is why I'm not focused on the league, but it's just more. I'm just always looking at game to game. Now I'm happy that this weekend went the way it went, because we had a bad weekend last week and it went in an advantage of our competitors. And now obviously we have an opportunity to book our place in the final. Obviously City do too. Obviously they're already kind of 1 foot into the final anyways, but we got a good opportunity to book our space in the final, and obviously we got a good potential to extend our lead next week because we got Sunderland at home, they got Liverpool away. Liverpool have kind of entered some good form now with the last couple of weeks, and they haven't lost a game in a little while. And hey man, I don't anticipate City going there and winning anyways. They probably max they can get a draw, and that means Arsenal can extend it to 8 points, which will be better than what it was even last week. So this is what football's about, man. Like I'm more. I don't mind opposition fans hating. Opposition fans don't want Arsenal to win. They should do everything they can to hate. I got friends that are that way. That's cool. Arsenal fans that are sometimes, the ones that don't like the manager or custom manager, but we're in this position and they want us to win. I just always think balance out maybe what you feel and why is the reason you don't like the manager. If it's because he hasn't won yet, like let him not win again before you crash the hate from previous years. And if it's because you actually just genuinely don't even care if he does win and you want him to go, then at least enjoy the season for what it is, and then you can still like want him out. Like you don't have to be toxic, because at the end of the day, I just care for your own enjoyment of the season. When you think back about that first title in 20-something years, you're not going to look back at it with a sweetness, because you just will look at the season with so much disdain and
bitter the whole season. Yeah,
do you know what I mean, man? Like you just support the team, because at the end of the day, like if you don't want to support because you don't believe in this team, but do you believe that the rivals are going to really give us that push and that pressure? I'm not saying City still can't go on a little 5-game run here and there, but by that time is the damage done. That's what you have to think about, man.
I mean, it makes me think. No, if we won against United, if we picked up the points against Forest, if we picked up the points against Liverpool, this league would have already been clears, man. We probably, let's just say we didn't lose any of those games. Oh my gosh, the gap would have been disgusting. But again, 6-7 points clear. Weekend went well, but I want to focus on Arsenal now. Moving on from those games, like I said, we have a big.
Before you focus, I know I've done the humble thing, but in your face, City, and in your face, Villa.
That's what I like to see.
Because the reason why, because obviously they had their opportunity to continue putting pressure on us, to continue that thing, and obviously they blew it. Arsenal dropped points last week, got a loss after 3 drop points, and they have an opportunity now, both not home games, City against lesser opposition, Tottenham who are in bad form, and Villa against a home team against 10 man, and they both bottled it. Like
and again, KP, if Tottenham play like when Tottenham play like that against Arsenal, there was no chance of coming back. It was over. So that should be just the barometer for me. When teams play that against Arsenal, give us that space.
But the reason why our defensive solidity, defensive individual players that we have, and just the way that we are as a team is way different to City. Like teams fear that they can't make a lot of chance to get a lot of grace against Arsenal, the way our goalkeeper is, all those things, innit? Obviously, yes, we conceded 2 mad goals last week. It can happen. But City today, I think Spurs had a lot of openings. We had to make a couple of saves in that second half. And this was where first half they had no joy. And I think teams won't have that. If Arsenal were 2-0 up and against a team, you could say that the game could potentially be done. I'm not saying it would be, but defensively, you don't expect Arsenal to kind of capitulate, even if we was concede 1 goal. But I think that's the difference. And I think that's what fans should get their confidence on. Like, City can't even hold leads now, and they're not in good form at the moment, and they probably won't win next week. And you look at their form in the last 5, 6, 7 games, it's not looking like the team that's going to be going on to do this, man. Going to AFC always comment here before we move on to the Chelsea game before we go. So it's a shame we didn't put this league to bed in December. It's a shame, but it's not. You can't expect anyone to do that. No one ever puts no leagues have been won in December in the previous, like maybe apart from that Liverpool league when they were didn't lose.
I think they were like 30 games in before they lost.
Those are rare ones. We're just saying that as Arsenal fans because we want to know that it's done, and either because people want to win more than one trophy, or you just want to know the league is done and kind of be able to kind of celebrate from now. At the end of the day, you can see that the league is going to be in Arsenal's, man. So I'm not saying you have to go out and have the biggest chest like me because I have chest, but you can believe it. So that changes your energy and the way you look at the team, innit? But
this is me today. This is me today, people.
You gotta have chest, but I always have chest. But the real chest is when you lose and you have chest. I feel like when you win and people drop points, it's easy to have chest then. But when you lose and it's time to be back against the wall, you see who really stands up and who believes in it. So obviously, quickly as we move on to the Chelsea game before we move on, I do need to go. Obviously, we might jump on tomorrow to do a bigger preview, so you guys we can talk a bit more about what that game will be on. But I just need us to. I anticipate Mikel making a rotated team. I'm not really going to go into lineups now, but because it is Carabao Cup and seeing what he did in the first leg, I know it's the second leg, but I do see him making a couple of rotations. We would need to, anyways, obviously, just to freshen up the squad. And I also see it being an open game. I think Chelsea will go for it. I don't see them trying to play it tactically, and I want to know if I just want Arsenal to be brave to put the game to bed, potentially use Chelsea's momentum and will and maybe eagerness to want to come out and win that game to their downfall. I don't know about you. What do you think?
Yeah, and I was going to answer that, KP, because I watched that Leeds game yesterday, and I think more than anything, the biggest thing I saw is us going vertical very, very early, whether that's playing through the lines, whether that's going over the top early into Gyökeres's feet, or just playing him down the space. There was one ball, I can't remember, I think Gabriel played a lovely ball in behind to Noni Madueke. Madueke got onto it. The lovely pass, Odegaard played in behind to Martinelli in behind. And again, Leeds are a team that play good football. They like to move the ball around. They like to get onto you. And if Chelsea do come on to us and try to play that way, I think you've already seen the blueprint. People are saying the manager needs to let the reins off, let go of the handbrake. And I think from here on out, if you want to keep that narrative of handbrake, I think from here on out, we're going to start to see Arsenal put down the foot to the gas, because I think going forward, you don't show that solidity, you don't show that attacking bit and then go revert back to what we've seen for the first half of the season. I think from here on out, the expectation is going to be not every game you're going to win 4-0. I'm not sitting here and saying every game needs to be 3-4-0. No, but every single game we need to see a level of intent, energy, and intensity. That's something that I said this after the Man United game. I want us to wash out our mouth with intensity, intent, and get back to being solid defensively, because those are the principles that got us to where we got to. And if we could continue to have those principles in the back half of the season, look at it, KP. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to get too overconfident, but I'm struggling to think many teams across Europe, when Arsenal are on their best, can beat us. I'm being very, very honest. I think we're going to be there and thereabout in the Champions League. I think we're going to win the Carabao Cup. I think we're going to win the Prem, FA Cup. That can go anyhow, anyway, with how the pie is sliced. But KP, I'm not going to say we're going to win the quad, but we're a very, very good team. Very, very good team, man.
I'm aspiring for us to win the quad, innit? And also, we might not win it, but
first team
that's what we got to do.
So it's going to be a difficult.
But I think it's not even arrogant for you to say that. Just obviously, we go into every game hoping and expecting Arsenal to win. That's because of how we play and how confident we are in these players and this team. And I think that's the same thing in terms of expecting us to win these games and maybe challenge for these trophies. So obviously, we've halfway through this season so far. We're looking good. Obviously, guys, make sure you smash the like button. If you haven't already, just quickly go and do that for us, whatever side, and go over to the other stream as well and go hit the like button there as well. AFC always says we could be 9 points clear of Man City next week. Arsenal versus Sunderland, City versus Liverpool, 9 or 8 points potentially if City drop points. So it could be an advantage there, innit? And as we say, innit, like there's an opportunity to win that quad. I think Arsenal just got to continue just to look at it game by game, try and win each game by game, and yeah, man, it could be a very special season. It's shaping up to be one of those, and from this point, I'm gonna enjoy it. I think for me to just finish finish my final point, the vertical football and just the stacking football. I think Mikel in that press conference when he's talking about they had a meeting and we want to enjoy the 4 months and play football with courage and express ourselves. I think that a lot of that was shown in the Kairat game, but obviously that's less opposition, a lot more in that Leeds game, and it was not even like we had a mad amount of shots, and I expect it to kind of follow suit in the next coming games, especially where the games kind of slow down in February and we don't have 2 games a week. We we have one game a week, and we can kind of get our rest and kind of go all out in some of these Prem games. So I think it's suiting up well for us this season, and in this Prem season, it's just about how we just hold our nerve. And I think, hey man, if it was to end how in the best way possible, I don't know what I'll act. So let's hope that we start. I think once we win on Tuesday, I think I can start to talk about that four talk real, because I then is actually one that could actually be in the bag very soon. Do you know what I mean? Any last thoughts before we go?
KP, I want to ask you one question, brother. Remember when City won the treble in 23-24? Or no, was it that season or 2022-23? Whatever season they won the treble in, right? There's a difference between people. I remember Man United fans were doing this to diminish their treble. Is there a difference between a treble or the treble in terms of winning the FA Cup, Champions League and League, or Carabao Cup, or we could win a domestic treble technically? Is it?
Yeah.
Does that matter to you? Does any trophy we bring home matter to you, or does it? Or does it not matter?
There is a difference between the A treble and the treble. Like if you win the Champions League and Prem, that will be the double. You know what I mean? And winning the Premier League and the FA Cup is a double, isn't it? But the treble has to include those two majors, and then you can put that. But I think,
okay.
As long as we win the Prem, whatever other trophy for me is a bonus, bonus for me. So we're looking like we're going well in that, and obviously the Carabao Cup is the next trophy you can win first. So I guess that will be the most important if we get there in the final. But I think we just have to continue winning games, and we win games or win as many games as possible. We should be confident to be in, especially those knockout games when we get to Champions League and FA Cup. Win those games, you're getting one step closer to a potential trophy. And the Prem, it's a countdown now. 14 games, I think it is now. What's that? 13 wins or 12 wins? No, I think 11 wins left.
Season's flying by fast, man. I'm not gonna lie.
So
Season's been
it's a magical season, and I'm happy that it's a World Cup, because I think we'll be, if we also have a magical season, it'll be World Cup. You celebrate it, get to watch some more football, and then have a transfer window, and then come straight in for a retaining league, which it'll be interesting to see how the pressure will look like if we have to retain it. But that's me getting ahead of myself, man. People just came on to do a little quick live gloating City faces, and obviously on shit on the ops and that, and just give some perspective.
Wait, KP, before we go, where the ops at? I ain't seen no ops today, man. It's looking rather quiet. It's spooky. It's looking spooky. Where the ops?
All the ops.
Where the ops at today?
All the ops I got.
Dark.
I don't want to come around here, man. Everyone is rising up like the Undertaker, but today no one's here still. Do you know what I mean?
Soundboard is mad.
That's why I like.
Go crazy, my guys. Go crazy.
But anyways, we leave it there, guys. Obviously, guys, make sure you smash the like button. Go subscribe to Gunner Street. If you're on my or tuning in from my side, go hit the subscribe button on Broski's channel. We should be back tomorrow, hopefully, with a little preview for the Chelsea game on Tuesday. And obviously, I will be doing a watch along. I don't know if Steph is available, but we'll be doing a watch along for that game for sure. On that game. So make sure you guys are tuned in. And obviously, if you're on Gunner Street, go hit the subscribe button to my channel. We're both chasing that 2K subs. Appreciate you guys tuning in with us. Shout out FC always, and everyone else that's been here. Obviously, appreciate the love, and hey man, we're gonna win this league. Understand that.
Come on, boys.
See you guys later, man. Peace, love.
Peace.